Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Let's begin the program with an urgent matter of public concern, and that's about the almost 7-month-old strike by university teachers in Nigeria. 2 days ago, Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, said during a television interview here in Lagos that the federal government has no money to meet the demands of the striking academic staff union of universities. The spokesperson for the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign asked parents to beg ASUU members to return to class because the federal government will not borrow money to meet their demands. Keyamo said the meetings ASUU had with the NIMI Briggs Committee were done without the input of the Ministry of Finance and other agencies with roles to play in the implementation of the recommendations. The minister said the federal government could not meet the financial implications of the Briggs Committee and there is need for fresh negotiations. You know, we've always talked about this on our programs, Steve and Adefemi, about how these public office holders should be more sensitive to the plight of Nigerians. I thought this was quite insensitive. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Absolutely. I mean, you're very correct, given the times that we're in. I'm not sure if he was
quoted out of context.
No, truly speaking for government on this subject.
No.
But then if you consider the fact that his office carries weight, he's the Minister for State for Labor, Affairs. The Minister of Education has consistently said that, the buck does not stop with them because it's the Ministry of Labor that is negotiating the matter, with ASUU. So if a Keyamo, who's a junior minister in that ministry, comes out to say that we've got no money and we won't borrow money to get the lecturers to be back at work, it says something, either is echoing the silent voices in government, or maybe it was actually sent
to say that
to deliver the message. We wouldn't know. But then there hasn't been any denial, all throughout yesterday.
Yes.
He hasn't made any clarification. So it looks to me like this might appear to be the position of government. If you recall, when it was said of the president that the Minister of Education should look for a way to settle this in 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be over now. The minister came back to say that it wasn't actually the idea of the president, that it was his idea, and that he said that he will need like 2 weeks to try and talk to them. That's between the presidency and the Minister of Education. Now you have a minister in the Labor Ministry saying that no way, it is the people, parents, that should try and appeal to the lecturers. I mean, it's dumbfounded. I mean, it's just not right.
You know what? Ochi and the two of you are being very classy, right?
Go ahead.
You said it was insensitive. You said it was dumbfounding. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement to make, right? Without a doubt, it is ridiculous. I think that if we look at the content of what he says, I think that's what's alarming. We don't have the money. We're not going to borrow. I think that bit about parents.
Basically, we don't care. That's what he's
exactly.
trying to say.
Yes.
Like, if it's up to you people.
Yeah.
If you want, tell your parents to go and beg them. What can we do?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it's just
he
ridiculous.
came on the fire that I think it was that same day the news broke that the federal government had allocated this amount of money to buy vehicles for the Niger Republic. And how could that happen at the same day, the same instance? We're talking about our future here. Children our children are at home for months, 7 months. And then you just say, because nothing's going to happen, we have to start fresh negotiations.
I mean, part of why this is worrying is because a good number of senior officials in government happen to be investors in the educational sector, in private education. This, therefore, could suggest maybe that they are basically saying, we haven't got the money to run public universities. And if you look at the number of private universities that you have and state university, LASU, by the way, didn't join. I think it's about the only state-run university that didn't join. I saw that the ASUU was trying to coerce all the other state universities into the thing. But what I'm saying is, even if you add the number of state universities and the public universities and look at the carrying capacity of those universities in terms of the number, it will look like what the government is thinking is that the number of private universities anyway, is almost more than half of what the public universities are carrying. And that why you guys making so much noise when more than half of students out there are in school in private universities, many of those owned by people in government. So it's a dilemma. If government is unable to run the public universities, maybe this is the conversation that we should start having, so that we don't think that in every 3 to 4 years, an average student in a public university will lose a whole academic session, because this is what is happening. We're going into 7 months. There's no solution in sight. And if a minister of the Federal Republic comes out to say that we don't have that money and we won't borrow, that says something for a ruling party that hopes to retain power at the next general elections. Nigerians are listening, and I hope that others will prefer solution. I mean, what are the issues? Yes, I know that the ASUU, the lecturers themselves, may not be perfect. There are allegations as to the fact that, they really do not want their books, to be open. But then 2 wrongs don't make a right. And the onus lies on the federal government to just find a way to make the schools work. If it's about paying them adequately, everybody knows that Nigeria is not even anywhere close to the recommendations in terms of budgetary allocation for education. We're far from that. So what is the point of, if you're able to borrow money for so-called infrastructure that you're talking about? The trains are there lying fallow now. They're attacking them. You borrow money to get the trains to work, but then you didn't think of safety when you were doing this. So my point is, if you could borrow money to fix infrastructure, to build roads, how much was it? $16 billion under Obasanjo till Yaradua went down the drain trying to fix power. Most of them borrowed. Why are you not unable to borrow money, to fund quality education?
I think that's what is scary. What do you mean we can't borrow anymore? You guys borrow for everything. You borrow to pay off your own debt, your old debts, and you can't borrow to sort out education?
The most important thing.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, like you said, Nigerians are listening.
Absolutely.
That is the biggest point here.
Absolutely.
If you're planning to retain power, Nigerians are listening.
And guess the funny thing, OG? The same gentleman, Festus Keyamo, incidentally, is now the spokesperson for the APC Presidential Council. Will be speaking for, and you can see the faux pas already about education, about the fact that Shivaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu will run on Buhari's, will run the same kind of government. If this is the man that we'll listen to till February next year, I don't know, but
buckle up, get your popcorn ready. I always say that
it's about to be a movie.
Yes. It's been a movie. It's been a movie.
It's the sequel. It's the part 2.
More like a soap opera.
Exactly. It's because it's dramatic, isn't it?
It's barely as funny as it sounds now. It is so unfortunate, really. Again, Nigerians are listening.